Hello, my name is Riley Gaines. I am an ambassador for Independent Women's Voice. I am the vice chair of Athletes for America with America First Policy Institute. And I'm a former collegiate swimmer from the University of Kentucky. And I'm thrilled with the passage of H.R. 28, the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act. But truthfully, I'm mad. I'm mad that this is something we have to do. I'm mad that we as women have to beg for equal rights. I'm mad that we have to beg for privacy in areas of undressing, and I'm mad that we have to beg for safety on the court or on the field, or walking in the streets at night for that matter.
They say men can't talk about women's rights. Well, only real men that care about women's rights are the ones that are going to do something. Look at this. 216 Republicans said yes on opposing the bill to ban trans athletes. Two Democrats said yes to passing the bill. Shout out to Representative Vicente Gonzalez and Henry Quiller out of Texas. That's a win for women's rights right there. Now, I have older sisters and my mother that raised me. I have a lot of nieces. I've been around women majority of my life. And I can say that, their rights are very important to me as being a younger brother, a son, and an uncle. So when I see things like this online about women's privacies being invaded by, I'm going to say it, the mentally ill. Transgenderism is a mental illness. A lot of people don't like speaking on it. A lot of people like to shy away and say, "Oh, we have to be accepting of people of what they feel and what they want." No, it's a mental illness. People are confused on who they are. These people need to seek counseling, and I have total respect for gay people, lesbians. That's a totally separate thing. When it comes to the LGBTQ, I don't even know all these letters that they keep adding throughout the years. But lesbians and gays, let them live their lives. They want to like who they like, love who they love, marry who they want to marry. I have friends that are gay. I have friends that are lesbians. I respect them. Live your life being happy who you are. Just don't push. All I'm saying is don't push it on other people. Especially kids that don't know what's going on in this world. They're still, this is where the confusion starts. It all starts with parents diving, and social media plays a little part in this as well. Pushing the agenda of transgenderism is what I'm totally against. I do not like, even the whole LGBTQ, I don't like it being pushed on other people forcefully. No, you don't see anywhere where you see straight people pushing their straightness on other people. I'm not saying you have to be straight. You can, like I said, you can be gay, lesbian, but when it comes to transgender, that's a totally different issue when it comes to the LGBT dilemma. Now, here is Nancy Mace speaking on transgender in Congress, and she lays it out pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and watch it.
The path forward for this? Well, number one, I want to see this in the House rules package. I want to make sure that no men are in women's private spaces, and it's not going to end here. This shouldn't be going on any federal property. If you're a school or an institution that gets government funding, this kind of thing should be banned. I think it's sick, it's twisted. I have fought like hell for women's rights. 25 years ago this year, I became the first woman to break the glass ceiling and graduate from a military college that was formerly all male. And to see the way that I've been attacked today and last night for fighting to protect women and girls, it's ridiculous. So that being a feminist makes me an extremist. I'm totally here for it.
Is this effort in response to Congresswoman McBride's coming to Congress?
Yes, and absolutely, and then some. I'm not going to stand for a man, if someone with a penis is in the women's locker room, that's not okay. And I'm a victim of abuse myself. I'm a rape survivor. I have PTSD from the abuse I've suffered at the hands of a man. And I know how vulnerable women and girls are in private spaces. So I'm absolutely 100% going to stand in the way of any man who wants to be in a women's restroom, in our locker rooms, in our changing rooms. I will be there fighting you every step of the way.
How do you think the speaker should address this? Just in the House rules package, or?
The House rules package will be fine, but we can't stop there. I mean, I'm working on legislation that would ban it on federal property. I'm working on legislation if you are a school that is funded by the federal government, this shouldn't go on. And if I'm being fought like this as a member of Congress across the country by mainstream media like you, imagine what the underage girl goes through at her school. The shame, seeing a biological male in a women's space in a girl's restroom or in her locker room, it's crazy.
Sick.
And if McBride wants to go to the gym, she can go to Planet Fitness, where they allow biological men to be around
Shots
in
fired.
a private space with underage girls. Like, no, thank you. It's not going to happen, not on my watch, and I'm going to stand in the way of anyone who's crazy enough to let men into women's spaces. It's not a thing. It's not going to be a thing up here. I'm going to fight like hell for all women and girls. Thank you.
Damn, shots fired at that gym.
The gentlewoman is recognized for 5 minutes to explain her amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. During the 118th Congress, Oversight Republicans disbanded one of the most important subcommittees in Congress, the Subcommittee on Civil Rights and Civil Liberties. And now in the 119th Congress, the chairman and House Republicans have decided to prioritize the demands of the real president, Elon Musk, and his billionaire friends over the needs of the American people.
What did she just say? The real president? Sorry for being too loud.
House Republicans have decided to prioritize the demands of the real president, Elon Musk, and his billionaire friends over the needs of the American people. Now, we are about to approach...
I'm getting sick and tired of these people keep thinking, like, they even asked Trump straight up, like, oh, is Elon Musk basically running wanting to be the president, and he's in your ear so much? Trump said no. Like, he can't even run for president anyway because he wasn't born here. And he just gets advice from everybody that's joined his team and that's helping the president make better decisions for our country. People like this like to throw in curveballs and say, the real president, Trump. Who's the president now? I want to ask this lady, who's the president right now? Because it's not Joe Biden, it's not Kamala Harris. I don't know who's running the country. Nobody knows who's running the country right now. But come on, Elon Musk.
The birthday of Martin Luther King, it's actually tomorrow. And on January, we are about to approach the birthday of Martin Luther King. It's actually tomorrow. And on January 20th will be the inauguration of Donald Trump, but it will also be the observation of MLK Day. And the fact that we have decided that in this country we are not going to honor civil rights should be something that we all take issue with. Considering the fact, for some that don't know what civil rights are about, because some people only believe that it deals with black folk, let me explain.
Please do.
Civil and political rights are a class of rights that protect individuals' freedom from the infringement by governments, social organizations, and private individuals. They ensure one's entitlement to participate in the civil and political life of society and the state. Defined another way, the right to be free from discrimination, the freedom to worship as we choose, the right to vote for our elected representatives, the protections of due process, the right to privacy. If any of that sounds familiar, it is because these are rights that are born out of our Constitution, something that we all supposedly have sworn an oath to, and we swear to not only, we don't just swear to it, we are supposed to protect those rights.
These Democrats, like Ms. Crockett here, like to go to the past and always bring up race like it's going to solve issues and help us move forward. She is a racist woman, in my opinion.
I don't know what's going on today. I find it extremely rich and offensive. So we're talking about civil rights. I'm the former ranking member on the Civil Rights Subcommittee, something I believe in civil rights and civil liberties of all Americans. And we were talking about infringement of individual people. Also, quote, the right to privacy of individuals. Coming from a party that can't define what a woman is
Yes.
and won't give women the right to privacy. You all want men with penises, chicks with dicks, in the
Damn.
bathroom with us. You want women to be forced to undress in front of men in the locker room and in dressing rooms, and it's so hypocritical for you to sit here and say and be screaming from the rooftops about right to privacy and civil rights when you don't respect women, and you don't respect women who've been raped, women who are victims of sexual abuse, and you want me, a victim of rape, a survivor of rape, to go into a locker room and be forced to undress in front of a man? You have to be effing kidding me.
She is spanking her right now. Spanking her with words. Holy crap.
I don't want to hear about you talk about rights, individual rights, civil rights, because you can't find the courage from the 60s to fight for women all around America. Fight for women like me, every single woman. And as a rape survivor, I shouldn't have to explain to you why women have rights and why women, when we're in the bathroom, when we're in the locker room, when we're in a dressing room, why I don't feel safe when there is a man nearby. And the fact that we're going here and we're going to say all these things is the ripeness of hypocrisy on the Hill. People need to tell the truth. And if we're going to talk about the rights of individuals, we have to talk about it. Everybody has rights, including women. And at some point, men are infringing on the rights of women. We just had it today. We just had a vote about protecting women and girls in sports. And I believe it wasn't one.
Big win.
It was two people from the Democrat Party who voted to protect women's rights in sports today.
Texas.
Two.
Yeah,
So this is, Mr. Chairman, this is a deeply offensive conversation to me today. We want to talk about real freedom. Women have freedom in this country. Women have the freedom to go to a private women's only space and not see a man in it. Women have the right to change and not be feared that somebody with their sexual perversion, someone who's confused about their gender,
It's sad.
we have the right to feel safe in these spaces. We have the right to know that we're not going to have trans people filming us in the bathroom. How many of these trannies are taking selfies? These men are taking selfies in women's spaces, in the bathroom. It's gross. It's disgusting. So if we're going to talk about civil rights, let's talk about the rights of women in this country and how you are stripping them away every single day. And you're doing it in your legislation, you're doing it in your messaging, you're doing it on X. You're making women feel unsafe in this country. And you're making the opportunity for women and girls to be raped, to be sexually abused in this country even greater than they've ever been.
You know, it's like the Democrats are, I'm not going to say all Democrats, but a majority of Democrats are like pro pedophilia. It's disgusting. You got strong women like Nancy Mace that's defending women's rights, and she's someone I support in speaking for women's rights for sure. And on the topic of transgenderism, I'm not speaking on queers because that's a whole nother issue. I don't agree with that as well. A lot of them push a lot of their views on children specifically. This is all pedophilia, and a lot of the people that support this, unfortunately, are from the Democratic Party. They're the ones that are promoting and are accepting this to happen in our own society in this country. I understand we want to have this country of freedom and being able to express freely who you are, but we have to have a fine line of sane and insane, because I don't even remember, I don't even know if we still have like mental institutions or places where people need to be evaluated because of the struggles that are going on in their lives. And everybody needs to speak to somebody about certain things. Now, I'll admit, I've spoken to a counselor in my past because I've had issues that I had to deal with and I was struggling. And that's not a bad thing. Everybody should. or you can bottle it inside and then say, you know what, I'm confused. I don't know who I am. I think I'm a woman now. You start messing with your own mind. You drink your own poison of not knowing who you really are. And once you go out and you see somebody, even having friends or family members or somebody close or even a stranger, at least you have a conversation with somebody to help with the issues you have in your life. And pushing it on other people once it's already consumed you is just outright wrong, especially in this country. We could be so far advanced in so many things in this country, and we're here talking about issues about transgenders, you know, having the ability to be in women's bathrooms. Why would a man, a person that was born a man, want to be in a woman's restroom? Why? Oh, because he really, really believes that he's a woman. That is mental health issue. That's just my opinion, and I'm glad with this new administration, a lot of these transgender things, I hope these gender bathrooms go away. I actually seen some before, and I was just grossed out by it, honestly. So that's my opinion.